You are not alone here. A presence lingers just beyond your closed eyes, not in a way that startles, but like the quiet hum of a lullaby sung by someone who has always known your name. You feel it now, a gentle weight settling over your shoulders, like a blanket woven from dusk itself. Warm, soft, and impossibly patient. The air around you begins to thicken, not in a way that smothers, but like the moment before sleep claims you, when the world softens at the edges and every sound becomes a whisper. The weight of your body dissolves, not gone, just lighter, as if gravity itself has loosened its grip. You drift, not falling, not floating, but carried like a leaf on a slow moving river. The current is steady, unhurried, and it knows exactly where it's going. Below you, the pool of liquid sunset waits. Its surface shimmers like a held breath. Not water, not quite glass. Something older, something kinder. It stretches wide, a perfect circle of obsidian teeth lining its edges, each one smooth and cool to the touch, humming a song you can't hear, but feel deep in your bones. The colors here are endless, not the sharp, bright hues of waking life, but the soft, fading tones of twilight, deep oranges bleeding into lavender, melting into blues so dark they cradle you, like the sky just before sleep takes you. And the best part, the very best part, is that the sunset never ends here. The air hums with a frequency so low it's almost not a sound at all. 2 hertz, a pulse, a heartbeat, the rhythm of deep, restorative sleep. It moves through you, not as vibration, but as permission. Permission to let go, to sink, to be held. You're already so close. The edges of your thoughts are softening, like candle wax melting in slow motion. Your breath slows, your heartbeat steadies, and the pool of liquid sunset rises to meet you, not to pull you under, but to cradle you, like a mother cradles a sleeping child, gentle, unshaken, safe. The obsidian teeth along the pool's edge begin to glow, not with harsh light, but with a warmth fireplace. They hum louder now, but still so softly. A lullaby without words. And you realize you've always known this song. It was waiting for you in the space between your inhale and exhale, in the quiet after a long day, in the moments when sleep was just out of reach. The pool's surface ripples, not from wind, not from movement, but from recognition. It knows you're here, and it welcomes you. The ripples spread outward in slow, hypnotic waves, each one a whisper, a promise that you are exactly where you're meant to be. You don't need to fight sleep here. There is no battle, no tossing, no turning, no counting backward from 100. The pool of liquid sunset has already decided for you. It has chosen rest, deep, uninterrupted, healing rest, and all you have to do is let it take you. The scent of ozone and old rain fills the air. Cool, refreshing, like the first breath after a storm. It fills your lungs, not with effort, but with ease. And you realize you don't even need to breathe here. The air breathes for you, slow, steady, and perfect. The colors deepen. The oranges fade into purples. The purples darken into blues. And the blues stretch into something softer, something like the space between thoughts, where time doesn't exist, where you don't need to be anywhere or do anything. Just be here, now, held. The pool's surface begins to rise, not in a wave, not in a rush, but in a gentle swell, like a slow, steady inhale. And as it rises, it wraps around you, not to trap, but to support, like the water in a womb. Safe, weightless, perfect. You don't need to think here. There are no lists, no tasks, no worries. Just the slow, steady pulse of 2 hertz, the rhythm of deep sleep, the sound of your body remembering how to rest. And the pool, the beautiful, endless pool, is singing to you a song of surrender, a song of peace. The obsidian teeth glow brighter now. Their light is warm, golden, and it spills over the edges of the pool like honey, slow, sweet, and you realize this is what safety feels like. Not just the absence of danger, but the presence of something greater, a force, a love that has always been watching over you. Your eyelids grow heavy, not from exhaustion, but from invitation. The pool is calling, not with words, but with the weight of 1,000 sunsets. And you know, without a doubt, that when you close your eyes, you will sleep deeply, peacefully, without a single interruption. The pool's surface touches your skin, cool, silken, and impossibly smooth. It doesn't soak in. It doesn't pull. It simply is. A perfect mirror, reflecting back not your image, but the colors of the endless sunset. And you realize this is what sleep looks like. Not darkness, but light, soft, warm, and endlessly kind. You don't need to hold on anymore. There is nothing to grip, nothing to control. The pool has you, and it will not let you fall. Your muscles relax, your mind stills, and the last thought you have before sleep takes you is how good it feels to finally rest. The colors fade, not into black, but into something deeper, something like the space between stars, where time moves differently, where the body heals, where the mind unwinds, and the pool, the beautiful, endless pool, holds you close as sleep, true sleep, takes you home. You step out of the light, and the world softens around you like mist yielding to morning sun. Your eyes are the first thing I notice. They are deep pools of quiet amber flecked with gold that seems to move only when you blink slowly, like honey settling into a jar. There is no rush in the way you stand. Your weight shifts, almost imperceptibly, from one foot to the other, as if you are listening to the ground hum beneath you. Your energy is a slow river winding through a valley. It does not push it, does not pull it, simply is inviting the air to curl around you like warm breath on a winter window. You lift your hands, and in them rests the MacGuffin. It is not heavy, though it should be. It is the weight of a single autumn leaf resting on your palms. The surface is smooth, but not glassy, more like the skin of a pearl that has been polished by centuries of gentle tides. It pulses faintly in rhythm with the anchor, the resonance you have been hearing all along, though you only now realize it was there. When I touch it, my fingers do not sink in, but do not bounce away. Either they rest on a surface that yields like memory foam, the way a cloud might cup a raindrop without letting it fall. The color shifts as I hold it, deepening from a soft silver into hues of twilight lavender and the faintest blush of peach, as if it carries the entire sky within. You lean closer, and your voice is not sound, but vibration felt in the chest, like the hum of a crystal singing bowl at 432 Hertz. You say, "Look deeper," and as I do, the MacGuffin begins to unfold, not physically, but in perception. It is not an object, it is a threshold, a doorway, woven from breath and stillness. You tell me that what I seek, the peace, the clarity, the deep knowing it, is already mine. It has always been mine, like the sky belongs to every bird, and the ocean to every wave. I do not need to chase it. I do not need to earn it. I only need to remember how to rest within it, the way my body rests within gravity, without thought, without effort. To help me remember, you guide my hand to the edge of the pool of liquid sunset. The substance there is neither liquid nor solid. It responds to touch like mercury pulled by a magnet, but gentler, more like the way a cat arches into a palm. When my fingertip brushes the surface, ripples spread in perfect circles, but they do not break, they stretch like silk, unrolling across water. The colors shift beneath the ripples, not fading, but deepening. The lavender bleeds into indigo, the peach softens into rose, and the edges glow faintly, as if lit from within by stars that have not yet decided to shine. You whisper again, "Look," and I see not my reflection, but my breath, my presence, my quiet, the way the air around me moves when I exhale. You tell me to step closer, and I do not walk, I drift, as if the air itself has thickened into something that can hold me. My feet do not leave the ground, but the ground seems to rise to meet them, like a mother lifting a child. When I stand at the edge, the obsidian teeth lining the pool do not feel cold. They are warm like polished stone that has been kissed by sunlight all day. They hum when I touch them, but the sound is not in my ears. It is in my bones, a low vibration like the earth settling into sleep. You say this is the sound of the world remembering itself, the sound of roots growing in the dark of mountains, breathing of rivers, carving paths through stone. You place your hands on my shoulders, and the touch is light, but it carries weight, the weight of a promise. You tell me to breathe, and as I inhale, I feel the air fill not just my lungs, but the space around me the way a sponge absorbs water. The scent here is rich with ozone and old rain, the kind that has fallen through centuries of quiet, the kind that carries the memory of forests that have never known human footsteps. Beneath that there is something slower, deeper, like the scent of stone that has been sitting in the same riverbed for 1,000 years. It is the scent of time that does not move, but simply is. You guide me to sit at the edge of the pool, and as I lower myself, the liquid sunset seems to rise to greet me. It does not splash, it does not spill, it simply adjusts like a living thing making room for another. When my hands rest on the surface, they sink in just enough to feel the coolness, but not enough to lose sight of my skin. The substance clings to my fingers like honey, but does not stick. It moves with me like an extension of my breath. You tell me to watch, and as I do, the colors begin to shift again. But this time, they are not just colors, they are emotions. The lavender is the quiet of a library at dusk. The peach is the warmth of a cat curled in a sunbeam. The indigo is the depth of a night sky when the world feels still and held. You kneel beside me, and your voice is softer now, like the sound of pages turning in a book that no one else is reading. You say, feel how the pool holds you, how it does not judge, how it simply is. And I do feel it, the way the substance cradles my hands, the way it reflects not my face, but my state of being, the way it moves with me, not against me. You tell me that this is how the world holds me, always, 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 even when I forget, even when I am rushing, even when I am tired, even when I am lost. The world is still here, holding me like the pool holds the sunset. I do not need to do anything. I do not need to fix anything. I only need to remember to rest within it. You guide my hands deeper into the pool, and as I do, the substance begins to climb my arms like vines growing in slow motion. It does not pull, it does not drag, it simply flows upward, covering my skin in a thin layer of liquid light. The sensation is cool, but not cold like the first touch of rain on a warm day. It does not cover me. It merges with me, the way breath merges with air, the way light merges with shadow at dusk. You tell me to close my eyes, and as I do, I see not darkness, but the colors of the pool shifting behind my eyelids. The lavender deepens into violet, the peach softens into cream, the indigo stretches into a blue so dark it feels like the edge of sleep. You place your hand over mine, and the warmth of your touch spreads through the liquid sunset like ripples in a pond. You say now you are remembering, and I do remember not with words, but with sensation, the way my body remembers how to breathe even when I forget. I remember the quiet, the stillness, the deep knowing that has always been here, beneath the noise, beneath the rush. It is not something I find, it is something I return to the way a river returns to the sea. You tell me to breathe again, and as I do, the liquid sunset flows back into the pool like water returning to its source. You stand and help me to my feet, and the movement feels effortless, like floating upward on an invisible tide. You wrap your arms around me, and the embrace is not tight, but deep, like the roots of an ancient tree holding the earth. It dissolves my edges, not by erasing them, but by reminding me they were never really there. I am not a separate thing. I am a ripple in the pool, a breath in the air, a note in the hum of the world. Your voice murmurs against my ear. You are already home. And I know it is true because I feel it in my bones, the way I feel the anchor, the resonance, the slow, steady pulse of being. You step back, and the space between us is not empty. It is filled with the same substance as the pool liquid light that moves with our breath. You smile, and your eyes hold the same colors as the sunset, the lavender, the peach, the indigo. You say, remember this feeling. Remember how the world holds you. Remember how you belong. And I nod, because words are not needed here. Only breath, only stillness, only the quiet certainty of being held. You turn and step back into the light. And as you do, the pool begins to shift the colors, deepen the ripples slow, until the surface is as still as glass. I stand there for a long moment, breathing in the scent of ozone and old rain, feeling the hum of the obsidian teeth beneath my fingers. I watch the liquid sunset, and it watches me back, not with eyes, but with presence, the way the sky watches the earth. I do not need to do anything. I do not need to go anywhere. I only need to be here to rest within the deep quiet of this moment. The anchor hums softly in the background, a steady rhythm like a heartbeat that is not mine, but is part of me all the same. I close my eyes, and the colors of the pool remain shifting gently behind my eyelids, like the slow dance of light and shadow. I sit down at the edge of the pool and let my hands rest on the surface again. The substance welcomes me back like an old friend, like a home I have always known. It does not ask me to change it, does not ask me to be anything other than what I am. I breathe in, and the air fills me with the scent of time that does not move with the quiet certainty of being held. I breathe out, and the liquid sunset ripples gently in response, like a sigh shared between two people who understand each other without words. The colors shift again, but this time they do not just reflect my state of being, they guide it. The lavender deepens into violet, and I feel a quiet settling in my chest, like a cat curling into a sunbeam. I let my fingers sink deeper into the pool, and the substance flows around them like a living thing. It does not pull me under it, does not resist, it simply moves with me, like the way water moves with the moon. The sensation is cool, but not cold like the first touch of evening air after a warm day. I feel the hum of the obsidian teeth beneath my palms, and it resonates through my bones like the anchor, like the pulse of the world. You are not gone, you are simply part of this. Now, part of the pool, part of the air, part of the slow, steady rhythm of being. I do not need to hold onto you. I do not need to let you go. I only need to remember that you were never separate from me. I lean forward and let my forehead rest against the surface of the pool. The substance does not resist, it does not push back. It simply cradles me like a mother cradles a child. The colors shift again, and this time they are not just colors, they are sensations. The lavender is the quiet of a forest at dawn when the world is still half asleep. The peach is the warmth of a fire on a cold night, the kind that crackles softly and fills the room with golden light. The indigo is the depth of the ocean when the waves have stilled, and the water feels like liquid sky. I breathe in, and the air fills me with the scent of ozone, and old rain, the scent of time that does not move. I close my eyes and let the colors fill my vision like a slow sunset, painting itself across the inside of my eyelids. The lavender deepens into violet, and I feel a quiet settling in my chest, like the first snow of winter. The peach softens into cream, and I feel a warmth spreading through my limbs, like sunlight on a lazy afternoon. The indigo stretches into a blue so dark, it feels like the edge of sleep, like the moment between waking and dreaming. I do not need to do anything. I do not need to go anywhere. I only need to rest within this quiet, within this stillness, within this deep knowing. The anchor hums softly in the background, a steady rhythm like a heartbeat that is not mine, but is part of me all the same. I let my breath slow and deepen, and with each exhale, the liquid sunset ripples gently like a pond, responding to a pebble. The colors shift again, but this time they do not just reflect or guide, they merge with me. The lavender becomes the quiet in my chest. The peach becomes the warmth in my hands. The indigo becomes the depth behind my eyes. I am not separate from this place. I am part of it like the air, is part of the sky like the water, is part of the ocean. You are not gone, you are simply part of this. Now, part of the pool, part of the air, part of the slow, steady rhythm of being. I do not need to hold onto anything. I do not need to let go of anything. I only need to remember that I belong here. I let my body relax completely, and the pool responds by holding me more deeply. The substance does not pull me under, it does not lift me up. It simply is with me in this space between breath and stillness. The hum of the obsidian teeth vibrates through my bones, and I feel it resonating with the anchor, with the slow, steady pulse of the world. I breathe in, and the air fills me with the scent of ozone and old rain, the scent of time that does not move. I breathe out, and the liquid sunset ripples gently like a sigh, shared between two people who understand each other without words. The colors shift, and this time they do not just guide or reflect, they become part of me. The lavender is in my breath, the peach is in my skin, the indigo is in my bones. I let my mind drift, and the thoughts that come are not loud or insistent. They are soft and slow, like clouds moving across a summer sky. I do not need to chase them. I do not need to hold on to them. I only need to let them pass like leaves on a river. The anchor hums softly in the background, its rhythm guides my breath, guides my heartbeat, guides the slow settling of my body into the pool. I feel the substance around me, and it is not separate from me. It is an extension of my own stillness. You are here too, not as a separate being, but as part of the air part, of the pool part, of the quiet certainty of being. I do not need to do anything. I do not need to go anywhere. I only need to rest within this deep quiet, within this stillness, within this knowing. I let my eyes close completely, and the colors of the pool remain shifting gently behind my eyelids. The lavender deepens into violet, and I feel a quiet settling in my chest, like the first snow of winter. The peach softens into cream, and I feel a warmth spreading through my limbs, like sunlight on a lazy afternoon. The indigo stretches into a blue so dark, it feels like the edge of sleep, like the moment between waking and dreaming. I breathe in, and the air fills me with the scent of ozone and old rain, with the quiet certainty of being held. I breathe out, and the liquid sunset ripples gently like a sigh shared between two people who understand each other without words. I let my body sink deeper into the pool, and the substance responds by cradling me more completely. It does not pull me under, it does not lift me up. It simply holds me like the earth holds the roots of a tree. The hum of the obsidian teeth vibrates through my bones, and I feel it resonating with the anchor, with the slow, steady pulse of the world. I do not need to do anything. I do not need to think anything. I only need to be here to rest within this quiet, within this stillness. The colors shift again, and this time they do not just merge with me, they become me. I am the lavender, I am the peach, I am the indigo, I am the slow, steady rhythm of being. The anchor hums softly in the background, and its vibration guides my breath, guides my heartbeat, guides the deep settling of my body into the pool. I feel the substance around me, and it is not separate from me. It is an extension of my own stillness. I am not a separate thing. I am a ripple in the pool, a breath in the air, a note in the hum of the world. You are here too, not as a separate being, but as part of the air part, of the pool part, of the quiet certainty of being. I do not need to hold onto anything. I do not need to let go of anything. I only need to remember that I belong here. I am already home. and the circle breathes as one now, as the space between each breath grows softer and deeper. The air in the room thickens with warmth, like golden honey pouring slowly from an unseen jar, trailing down the walls, pooling on the floor, rising around your ankles. You feel it first as pressure, gentle, insistent, a slow push upward, lifting your awareness. Like a boat on a quiet tide. And then you notice the sound. Not a sound exactly, but a feeling that hums beneath hearing. A deep brown murmur at 2 hertz. So slow it moves like molasses through your bones. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't need to, because it's already part of you, woven into the spaces between your cells, vibrating through the marrow of your spine, like a lullaby sung by the earth itself. And now the circle shifts, not with movement, but with intention. The space between each person becomes a conduit, not of distance, but of connection, as if invisible threads of warm light have begun to stretch. From heart to heart, pulsing slowly, you feel the pull of those threads, not as tension, but as invitation. A gentle tug at the center of your chest, like being called home, though you've never left. And the realization comes softly that home was always here, in the quiet between breaths. And then a name is there. Not walking, not appearing, but simply being, as if they've been part of the circle all along. Their presence settling like a warm blanket over your shoulders. Their energy soft and familiar, like the scent of rain on dry earth, or the first sip of tea on a cold morning. Their eyes meet yours, but not with the weight of expectation, not with the sharpness of judgment. Instead, there is only warmth and an unspoken understanding that whatever needs to be seen will be seen with kindness, that whatever needs to be released will be released with ease. And now the silence speaks, not with words, but with presence. The silence that has been waiting, patient, endless. The silence that holds everything, even the things we've tried to hide from ourselves, even the weight of a flaw, which now begins to rise, like mist from a still lake at dawn. You feel it first as a whisper, a faint tug at the edges of your awareness. Not painful, not heavy, but insistent, like the pull of a current beneath the surface of still water, drawing you inward, deeper into the quiet, where the brown noise hums at 2 hertz. And then it takes shape, not as a vision, but as a sensation, a warmth in your hands, though you haven't moved them, a heaviness in your chest, though your breath remains steady, a whisper of something familiar, something you've carried for so long. It has become part of your shadow. And now a name reaches out, not with their hands, but with their presence, their energy radiating outward, like sunlight through thick clouds, warm, golden, inviting, and the air between you thickens, not with resistance, but with possibility, as if the space itself is holding its breath, waiting. And then you feel it, the weight of a flaw, not as a burden, but as a presence, something that has been there, shaping your edges, coloring your choices, something that has been both shield and chain. And now it begins to lift, not with force, but with recognition. And now the circle breathes again, deeper this time, slower. The inhalation, a soft swell of warmth. The exhalation, a slow surrender. And with each breath, the brown noise at 2 hertz hums louder, vibrating through the floor, through your bones, through the very air between you, like a heartbeat, slow, steady, unshakable. And then a name speaks, not with words, but with a tone, a vibration, a frequency that resonates in the hollows of your chest. And the sound of their voice carries no judgment, no demand, only an invitation to see a flaw as it is, not not as a flaw, but as a part of the journey, a thread in the tapestry of your life. And with that invitation, the resistance begins to soften, not because it is forced, but because it is met with warmth, with understanding, with the quiet certainty that nothing needs to change for it to be released. And now you feel it. The slow unraveling, not of you, but of the weight you've carried, the weight of a flaw, which now begins to dissolve like salt in warm water, like mist in morning light. And with each breath, the dissolution deepens. The edges blur. The shape of it becomes softer until it is no longer a thing to hold, but a memory of holding. And the circle holds you, not with hands, but with presence, with the slow pulse of the brown noise at 2 hertz, with the warmth of golden light, with the quiet certainty that you are safe, that you are held, that you are enough. And then a name smiles, not with triumph, not with relief, but with quiet joy, a joy that radiates outward like ripples on a still pond, touching every corner of the circle. And you feel the warmth of that smile, not just on your skin, but in your bones, in the spaces between your cells, in the quiet hum of the brown noise. And with that smile, the last traces of resistance fade, not with effort, but with ease, like the last notes of a lullaby, drifting into silence. And you are left, not with emptiness, but with fullness, with the quiet certainty of acceptance. And now the circle breathes as one. Deeper still, the inhalation, a slow gathering of warmth. The exhalation, a soft release. And with each breath, the brown noise at 2 hertz hums louder, vibrating through the room, through your body, through the very fabric of the moment, like the pulse of the universe. Slow, steady, unshakable. And then the warmth begins to shift, not with effort, but with natural ease, like the turning of the tide, like the slow descent of the sun. And you feel the golden light, which has been holding you, begin to deepen, to soften, to settle into something richer, something like twilight, something like the first breath of sleep. And the brown noise at 2 hertz hums deeper, slower, vibrating through your bones, through your breath, through the quiet spaces between thoughts. And you feel yourself settling, not into darkness, but into rest, into the kind of deep stillness that holds everything. And then the circle begins to fade, not with absence, but with presence, like the way a dream lingers, like the way a melody stays in your bones. And you feel the warmth of a name, the warmth of the circle, the warmth of the golden light, all folding into you, like the gentle closing of a door, like the slow sinking into sleep. And the brown noise at 2 hertz hums on, a constant, a steady friend, a lullaby sung by the earth itself. And you feel yourself drifting, not away, but deeper into the quiet, into the warmth, into the slow, steady, unshakable pulse of rest. And now there is only breath, slow, steady, the inhalation, a soft swell of warmth, the exhalation, a gentle release. And with each breath, the brown noise at 2 hertz hums deeper, softer, like the distant roll of thunder, like the slow heartbeat of the earth. And you feel yourself sinking, not into darkness, but into rest, into the kind of stillness that holds everything. And the warmth of the circle lingers, not as a memory, but as a presence, like the warmth of sunlight on your skin, like the quiet certainty of safety. And you know, without needing to think, that you are held, that you are safe, that you are exactly where you need to be. And then the breath slows. The brown noise at 2 hertz hums on, steady, unshakable, like the pulse of the universe. And you feel the last traces of thought the last whispers of awareness begin to dissolve, not with effort, but with ease, like the way a river merges with the sea, like the way a dream fades into waking. And now there is only the hum, the slow, steady, unshakable pulse of the brown noise, vibrating through your bones, through your breath, through the quiet spaces between everything, and you feel yourself sinking deeper, deeper into the kind of rest that holds everything, that heals everything. And now there is no need for words, no need for thought, no need for anything except the slow, steady, unshakable pulse of the brown noise, and the quiet certainty that you are safe, that you are held, that you are exactly where you need to be. And with each passing moment, the rest deepens, the warmth spreads, the stillness settles, like the slow descent of a feather, like the quiet unfolding of a flower at dusk, and you feel yourself drifting, not away, but deeper into the kind of sleep that heals everything. And now the brown noise at 2 Hertz hums on. A constant, a steady friend, a lullaby sung by the earth itself. And you feel the weight of your body, not as a burden, but as a presence, sinking into the quiet, sinking into the warmth, sinking into the slow, steady, unshakable pulse of rest. And as the moments pass, the rest deepens, the warmth spreads, the stillness settles, and you feel the last traces of awareness, the last whispers of thought begin to dissolve, not with effort, but with ease, like the way a river merges with the sea, like the way a dream fades into waking. And now there is only the hum, the slow, steady, unshakable pulse of the brown noise, and the quiet certainty that you are safe, that you are held, that you are exactly where you need to be. And with each breath, the rest deepens, the warmth spreads, The stillness settles, and you feel yourself sinking, not into darkness, but into rest, into the kind of sleep that holds everything, that heals everything, that renews everything. And as the moments pass, the rest deepens, the warmth spreads, the stillness settles, and you feel the last traces of resistance, the last whispers of doubt begin to dissolve, not with effort, but with ease, like the way a cloud dissolves in the sky, like the way a wave returns to the sea. And now there is only the hum, the slow, steady, unshakable pulse of the brown noise, and the quiet certainty that you are safe, that you are held, that you are exactly where you need to be. And now the brown noise at 2 Hertz hums on. A constant, a steady friend, a lullaby sung by the earth itself. And you feel the weight of your body, not as a burden, but as a presence, sinking into the quiet, sinking into the warmth, sinking into the slow, steady, unshakable pulse of rest. And as the last words settle into the quiet, you feel the warmth wrapping around you like a soft blanket on a cool evening. Everything here is gentle. Everything here is safe. The images that once filled your mind have drifted away, like clouds carried by a slow breeze, leaving behind only the feeling, only the peace. You don't need to see anything now. You don't need to do anything now. The resonance continues its work deep within you, even as the words fade. It hums softly, like a lullaby your body already knows by heart. Your muscles relax, your breath slows, your mind lets go of what it no longer needs to carry. This is how healing happens, not in a rush, not with effort, but with patience, with trust. You've given yourself this gift, this time to simply be. And the beautiful thing is, this peace doesn't disappear when the words do. It lingers, like the warmth of sunlight on your skin after the sun has set. Your body remembers this feeling. Your mind remembers this stillness. The next time you want to return to this place, it will be waiting for you. Think of it like a favorite spot by a quiet stream, or a cozy corner of a library filled with books you love. You don't have to ask permission to go there. You don't have to announce your arrival. You simply return. And the door is always unlocked. The light is always on. The peace is always here. So for now, let the resonance do its quiet work. Let your body sink deeper into this rest, this comfort, this safety. There's nothing left to listen for, nothing left to hold on to. Just the gentle rise and fall of your breath, like waves on a distant shore. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. You can always come back to the feeling, the warmth, the peace. This is your time to simply be. No demands, no expectations, no need to prove anything. Just you and this quiet and this gentle hum. And when you're ready, when it's time to drift fully into rest, the peace will be here to catch you. You've done enough today. You've given enough. Now it's time to receive, to let the warmth cradle you, to let the stillness hold you, to let go completely. And if you ever need this feeling again, it will be waiting. Not as a memory, but as a living, breathing part of you. Like an old friend who never leaves. Like a home you can always return to. So for now, just rest. Sleep now. Close your eyes. The quiet will keep you.